Yeah,
And
I like that both of our coffees are half done, so we're both gonna get more and more energy as it goes on.
yeah,
Yeah.
what kind of coffee did you get today?
Dude, I went through Aroma. You know the deal. Um,
Yeah, aroma is nice.
I think that's the last place we got breakfast.
It is
Like you and me.
before the pandemic.
Hmm.
And during the pandemic, you just made a record,
Yeah,
which is great.
dude. It was crazy, like, because if I didn't like just decide like, oh, now I need to like step this up and record a lot more myself, there probably wouldn't be an album right now.
That's kind of crazy, dude. Think about that. If you froze and you were like waiting for the tour or waiting for whatever, you wouldn't have made a record. And you made one of, I think, your best record yet.
Yo, thank you. Also,
Which you
I think
continued
it's
to
really
do with
good.
each record, which is crazy.
That's the thing. Like I say it, but maybe people don't like totally believe it. An album will not come out unless I really genuinely think it's better than the one before it. It's just not going to come out. Like I don't like
For
because I'm
you
not.
guys, maybe for you guys.
Huh?
Some people, I don't know. Some people, I don't know. Sometimes people think it's their best record and it's not.
But you got to also be self aware about it.
Yeah.
You just have to like know. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes there's a part of people, and that's not saying like you're never gonna doubt as an artist and shit, but like I think people might know deep down if something's not their best.
I have, for sure.
Okay. Do
When I was making records, definitely.
you have a
But then
least favorite?
part of me was like, honestly, I'm just being honest. Part of me was like, I think we're supposed to go out and say this is our best record ever. I think that I felt like I think I felt as an artist when I was promoting records,
Yeah.
which I don't envy when I see you guys promoting records. I don't envy it. I know it's hard, like it's weird. I felt like pressure to say this is our best work.
Mhm.
And part of me was like, I love this record. Is it my best record? I don't know if it's my best record, but it's a meal I made and I want people to try it.
That's yeah,
Right?
that makes
Like,
sense. Yeah.
well, let's say I do like a take on Mexican food, right? And so it's not going to be what you get at your favorite restaurant.
No, it should
But
always be
like,
different.
what if I serve it for you and you're like, this is pretty good. Like this is if you're comparing it to my
Mhm.
specialty,
Yeah.
of course it's not going to be if you came for the specialty and you're
Yeah.
getting this day I wanted to try this thing. You may go like fuck, I wanted the Italian food that he makes. He makes really good. His take on Italian is really good. His take on this Mexican food and it's not really what I wanted. I
Mhm.
get it like people are like fuck that and then that's where they because that's the thing that fucks us up is like I think
Mhm.
music is kind of like food,
It
like you
is.
can try it and go ugh this sucks, you
See,
can
that's
do that with music.
anytime someone's like, God, like you'll see like a very, very, very pop punk dude be like, fucking, this is like the shittiest pop punk band, blah blah blah. This album's gonna be like he's like listening to Snow Globe. I'm like, obviously, this isn't this isn't like a pop punk thing. This probably like you like it's. I think if people go into something like with an expectation, like that's where there's room to disappoint. But if you go out and you're like, hey, do not expect this. You are not going to be getting this, but I promise you, what you do get is going to be top of the fucking line.
And it was my best effort. It was my best effort.
Yeah.
Whether it's my best stuff, according
Hmm.
to you, you could be stuck in a certain time because that record meant emotionally to you a lot,
Yeah.
right? That's the other thing is fans, which is the best part about it, is they discover your music at different points of their life,
Mm.
and then they hold on to it because it made them feel a certain way. And when you listen to that song from 1997, I mean, for me, it
Yeah.
takes me right back to that spot where it made me feel better. It made me feel understood. And now when I listen to it, I still feel that way. But that's the thing too, is like there's this whole other side to the emotional
Yeah.
experience we had when we listened to your first record or your
That's why
third
you
record,
have.
whatever it was. Now, your record, I think, is your best record yet. Um, I don't, I think but I actually think you have even better records in you. Like I actually think you're on I think you're on your way somewhere, and you guys, um, you know, Otto and Jeff and you have grown. I mean, think about this. When did we meet?
2015 May.
Right. And and the first time we met,
Yeah.
I think I flew to Houston for a
No,
show.
we came to LA first
Right.
and met y'all, and then you came out to one of our Houston shows, and it was like 120 cap room,
Yeah.
and I remember this other like local band that we like brought onto the show. They were like, "Hey man, I feel like you know something about this. Why is Joel here?" I was like, "I don't know, man."
I mean, I remember that show though,
Yeah.
like it was yesterday. And it's crazy like where you guys are at.
Mhm.
You guys have grown. I mean, as a band, as people, as like it blows me away. And like that I think about that and I'm like, okay, this is still the early stages of a band. Like in my opinion, like you guys are young and you have that energy. You're making the records, you're touring,
Dude,
you're
Double
just
Dare's
hitting
not
your
even 5 years
stride.
old yet.
It's
Isn't that
crazy.
weird? Not
Yeah.
even 5 years old yet.
So that's what I'm excited is like the next 5 years are going to be, to me, it's like it's full bloom. It's just like the band is continuing to just get better in every way, shape, and form. From the songwriting, the live show, everything. It just continues to just grow. What I still find inspiring is when I find an artist, a painter, a songwriter, who will stick with the work until it's done. They go, yeah, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. And I'll be like, sounds done to me. You've
Mhm.
played me songs where I'm like, that sounds ready to go.
I'm like, no, it's
Not,
not.
not yet. And you're like, okay,
I'm over here like
I,
an over
I get
explaining
it.
shit.
Trust it.
I'll be like, the programming's got to come up. I got to redo that keyboard. I'm gonna re-sing that part. By the way, these vocals are just scratch vocals. It's just like part of it. You got to say it. You got to
You're
give
like,
me a demo talk. By the way, was it? I think I may have talked to you and Benji, or was it? I don't remember. Like, I talked to one of y'all at the top of or it was like March of last year, I think, and I was just like, hey, how do you like write a song? Like, what do you do? Because I was like trying to like find new ways. I felt like I was maybe hitting kind of a roadblock, or I was like not not necessarily like plateauing or whatever. I was just kind of like looking for something new to try. And I was talking to one of y'all, and it was like, just go in there and just start singing. Just like, just
yeah,
make,
stream of consciousness, we call it,
yeah,
which is what we do. We don't
yeah.
really sit down and try to think about what we're going to write about.
I
We
did
just
that.
go in and just flow.
This is the first time I did that. Was this album? Not all of
Right.
it, like some of it, and it worked really well.
And it's fun, right?
Yeah, it is because I'm just in there like I loop the instrumental for like 20 minutes, and then I'm like, dude, that's how like Snow Globe happened, Fruit Roll Ups, and then pieces of like a bunch of other ones. But those two were like full, just that.
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, like it with some of that.
Free form, whatever you want to call it. Freestyle, free form.
Yeah.
That's tight. I love that.
And you actually, another thing you told me was like how sentences connect. Like just
Yeah, so if I so that's when once I write a song, I'll write it down.
yeah,
I'll type it or whatever,
yeah,
and then I'll read it. Like if it reads like a book to me, then I feel like it makes sense to me.
yeah,
If I read it like a story, like it all connects in
yeah.
some way, shape, or form, it's got to feel like a poem or a story for me to go, okay, that's well written. And then I'll change some things. But when I write the song, it's all freestyle
Mhm.
until I have enough of a body of a verse chorus that I feel like I'm getting somewhere, and then I'll take it. By the way, you also know this. I can only work for an hour. Like I
I've
have
seen that, and
two.
I'm like, what? Because I like when I start working, I'm just like, oh, and it's like 7 hours, and then the thing's done.
Yeah, you grind for 8 hours, 7 hours. Like you have and by the way, I think that you have a low tolerance for boredom as well, but I think you're hyper focused on your art.
I
And
go
so I
tunnel.
think you can get tunnel vision.
Yeah.
I can't get tunnel vision. I have way too extreme ADD and ADHD and all that, and so I think and I think we all have that as artists in different ways. But I think that like uh, I struggle to work for more than like an hour and a half on any one thing.
That's how I
So
feel if I'm working with, like, if there's other people in the room.
right, I
Because
get
then
it.
I'm like, and then there's like distractions and people are like, what do you think of blah? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I'm like, then it kind of like derails my thing. But if I'm just alone in my apartment, like I'll be like, I'll start something at 11 a.m. or whatever. And then I'll look and I'm like, oh God, it's 7. Like, shit, I guess I should like order food, or like, oh, the song sounds amazing though. It's like basically done. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
You have something to show
Like,
for it.
if you, I feel like if you were like you started, or like you wanted to start recording songs, like just yourself, I think you would maybe be the same way, because
Maybe.
my brain also can't stay on more than one thing for like long at all. Like that's why I have so many things happening at once, because I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I better start. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do this podcast really quick. Okay, let me go do that. Oh wait, I was gonna work on this song. Oh, there's designs due. You know what I mean? Like, but when I actually like lock in, it's one of the few times I can actually focus on something for like a whole day.
Yeah, I think it's insane how self-contained you are, and it's interesting. I think it's like a rare thing these days to someone to be able to start and finish. It's like your book, which is crazy to think about that you wrote a book to me. Like that's amazing.
I needed
Um,
something to do with my time.
yeah, but it's a great book.
Thank you.
It's like a really good book. I was wondering if you're gonna do another book.
I think I would. It's just not right now,
Right.
because just so like there's so many fucking things happening. But I think if I wrote another one, it wouldn't be about me, or at
Right.
least like a
It's
direct.
cool. It's fun.
I would want to write a story, you know, because like I've got ideas for stories. I just haven't had like the free month or whatever to sit down and just, because like with the book, that was between tours, and we had like a month off, and I was like pretty depressed, and I was like, I need something to do with my time. And so every morning at like 7, like from like 7 to like 1 or whatever, I would just type,
Yep.
and eventually it was just like boom, book. And like at the end I would like highlight it all, put it in the word count, and I'd be like, cool, I wrote like, whatever, like 7,000 words today. Fuck yeah.
Oh, what about your live stream, the Wiltern?
What about it? It's gonna be crazy. Like
Yeah.
the production looks like heaven. Have I sent you pictures?
You sent me pictures, and I got like a lot of excited people at saying that they saw little pieces of the production and how excited they are about it. So uh, that's exciting.
Dude, straight up, I was just like, I want it to look like the fucking worst kind of storm, but I also want it to look like heaven, but like in a weird, surreal way. And it worked. It looks dope.
So also, I think it's interesting too because I think you guys are one of the few bands that I think get it, really get it. I think Chase Atlantic too is interesting. Like they get it. Like you guys all get it the same. I don't actually think that you're doing live streams as a replacement. I actually feels like you're making kind of live videos for people. Like it almost feels like it's a different thing than a live show. It's a live stream, which I like that that's a new form of a medium that people can kind of participate in a real way where artists can now actually uh, sustain themselves a little bit from live streaming. Like I think it's going to grow. I think that's the whole thing with Veeps is like the mission is like building out sustainability between the artists and the fans. But I also think it's kind of interesting because it's not like you're trying to recreate what people are going to see on the tour. You actually did this like
New things. Yeah, things that you're not going to be able to see on a tour.
exactly. That's super cool.
Yeah, like let's do something that's completely unique to just this event, and no one's ever going to be able to see it again. Like some crazy ass production, and like go over the top with it. Like, you know what I mean? Even if that means like putting a shitload of like resources and money into it and blah 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 all this stuff. Like it's worth it to create this like one-time unique experience.
Yeah,
It's special. It's dude, album release show. There's one
it's
of
great.
those. You know what I mean?
It's great. I love it. I think it's gonna be great, dude. I'm excited for people to see it.
You gonna watch it?
Of course, I'm gonna watch it. I watch every Veep show I can watch. I try to watch. Um,
Yo,
you
yo.
know,
Wait, did you watch the other one?
of course I did,
Let's go.
dude. Oh, you know what? Also, how do you feel about being on the cover of Alternative Press?
I fucking love it. And this shoot is crazy. The ice bath shoot, dude. Are you kidding me? And I like that one of them is straight up film, and then the other's like super like HD
When
futuristic digital.
when you do the AP cover, are you like coming up with the idea and kind of like art directing and like figuring out like how you want it to look, and like they just kind of let you do what you want to do?
Baby, of course. You know I micromanage fucking everything. Like you thought, the shot with the shoes. I remember, like, did you see that one? Like that's on the posters, like with all the shoes hanging down, or no?
Hmm.
Okay, so for that one, we needed like one more idea, and Josh and Miles were like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, it's like, dude, I don't like. It was like a stressful day. There's like a bunch of stuff going on. I was like, I don't fucking know. Like, uh, get one of those like big tall racks and just put all my shoes on it. We'll be under it. And they're like, okay. And then I showed up and I was just like, oh shit, it's real. And it actually turned out like really dope. And there's like those silhouette shots too. You know what I mean? From like behind. That was Ashley. Like her eye for that kind of thing is amazing. She was like, wait, don't move, and went behind the paper and was like, what are you doing? And and she was like taking pictures of like the silhouettes, and they just came out so fucking awesome.
Ashley Osborne.
Hmm. Shout out
She's
Ashley.
she's so great, man. She's
She
such a
is.
good photographer. I think it's like this partnership between artists and the people that are taking their picture. Like there's got to be this like respect and trust and like mutual like play factor
Yeah.
where you guys are like in the on the playground just playing, right? And like making art. Like I think that's kind of cool. I know you guys have worked with her before, but
Her and John and Eric
yeah.
are all just like, because we've worked with like in some degree we've worked with all of them.
Eric Rojas.
Yeah, Eric Rojas,
He's
John
dope.
Croker,
He's
Ashley
he's
Osborne.
another like he's another one that like not as many people
They don't know yet.
still don't know yet. Like he's coming up. He
Keyword
does
yet.
such good work.
We
And
just shot
like
the pilot with him.
yeah, dude. He's like another one that like you get in, I think, with him and you just play on the playground and you guys are just making art. That shit that's like those are the ones, man. Like he's definitely again like coming up. Yeah, cool. I wondered if we covered everything. I don't know if there's anything else you want to talk about with the new record. Um,
Um, I mean, I'm just excited for the rest of this year. I mean, because like I don't know if I told you or not, but I got a Red camera,
oh, sick.
so that way we can just make music videos all the time for like everything.
Yep.
I want to be putting out videos long after the album's out. I just want to be like always making new stuff for it. Um, I'm excited to drop. And you know about this. I've been working on like clothing since like the end of 2019, and it's finally about to start dropping.
Yep.
Very stoked about that. Um, man, I was about to drop the podcast because we're about to do season 4. But man, I gotta tell you, I'm so grateful you did it. But that episode you were on, I felt fine with every other guest, but having you in there, like talking about music and shit, I was just like, oh my god, this was such a mistake. I could tell my face was just like bright red. I was like, oh fuck me, dude. Joel is way too good for this. Why did we do this?
You know, I feel like it was a unique experience that I'll never forget. It was weird, but it was
You're
all
like, oh,
good.
I'll read it.
I support you. When you ask me to go, I
No.
go. When you ask me to do it, I'll do it, and happily. So I was in on the joke, and
Yeah.
I thought it was you know
You
it
were
was
more in on it than I was that episode, and I was just like, you're like, go on, read it, and I'm like, Oh fuck.
Here we are.
Yeah, you're like, come on, dude. This is what you wanted.